This episode is brought to you by Whitaker Garage Doors, your one-stop shop for all things garage doors, proudly based in Peekskill, New York. Your home is a direct reflection of your personal style, and let's face it, your garage doors are the first thing people see when they pull up your driveway. Whether you're looking for the timeless charm of a classic carriage house door or the clean, sleek look of a basic wood finish, Whitaker Garage Doors offers traditional options for every taste and budget. I can personally vouch for their incredible service. When I had my own garage doors done, I was blown away by their timeliness, professionalism, and overall respect for their clients. Jonathan, Cassara, and their entire team are top-notch, and they really go the extra mile to ensure you're happy with the final result. So if you're in the market for a new garage door or need some repairs, give them a call or find them on Instagram at Whitaker_doors. Don't forget to tell them you're a friend of Dave's over at the No Snooze podcast. Whitaker Doors. You won't regret it. Now, back to the epi. Adversity? Bring it. The struggle? I welcome it. Snooze on life? Never that. I am Dave Regina, and this is the No Snooze podcast. Come on. Bang, 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 bang. Welcome back, No Snooze Podcast, episode 256. As always, I'm in the booth with my brother, Claudio the Voice, Valenzuela, Cheese, and I am Dave the Body, Regina. We have been really enjoying these Q&A episodes, and we got a lot of questions, so we're going to just keep them coming. If you guys have questions, please reach out to us. Instagram is the best way, at Dave Ridge, at No Snooze Podcast, or via email at nosnoozepodcast@gmail.com. A couple things, my brother. One, it's brick outside.
Yeah.
Wow.
Cold. It is cold.
Wow. Like Alaska cold. Antarctica cold? Which one's colder?
I think Antarctica is. But they did say
Antarctica.
on the news,
Antarctica.
Antarctica. But they did say that it is feeling like Alaska cold.
Crazy.
Which is crazy.
What is going on? And then two, I don't know about y'all. I don't like this. I feel pasty. And then I shaved my body to get this, this woolly mammoth
More
blanket off of me.
aerodynamic.
And I look even whiter. So I need to hit the beach, man.
Didn't you just go somewhere?
Yeah, that was like November.
No. Wasn't it later?
December. November. December.
How long did
December.
How long does your I knew it wasn't that
Antigua, that's right.
far. How long is your tans last?
Like
obviously once you're
I think like a month.
Yeah. That's about mine,
and now
too.
it's kind of gone though.
Yeah. That's
So now
here.
it's depressing out here now.
Yeah, it hurts.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh, you look in the mirror, you're like, wah, wah, wah.
Well, I don't until summer
everything
season.
looks better with a tan, though. I don't know if do you agree? Like,
I mean, I do. I personally agree.
yeah,
tan is good, man.
Just like that shine, right?
Yeah. It's life.
Full transparency here. Not the best sleep last night. Didn't get home till 11 o'clock. Shout out to Celsius for keeping me fueled, baby.
If you're gonna shout out Celsius, point Celsius at them.
I did, man. Look,
No,
right there.
you pointed the other day.
Yo.
There we go. Look at that.
So
thing.
the Celsius tropical vibe,
I think I've had that one.
fire, bro.
Delicious, yeah.
And I don't know why. Like, I'm not a humongous. I do like seltzer, but seltzer themselves kind of gives me that I don't like a little bloat, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm talking about when you drink it too fast? For whatever reason, the sparkling version of Celsius does not do that.
Because the carbonation is not as much
It's
as
fire.
like a seltzer. I think it's perfect. You're right.
Fire. Celsius, fire.
Yeah, I like it.
So yeah, 18-hour days. And I was telling the guys last night, I'm like, but nobody cares. Nobody cares. Right? So whatever grind you're on, whatever hustle that you're going through right now, you're doing it because you want to do it, and you have to be intentional in every single thing that you do. And I was also sharing that if you don't go get it, somebody is going to come take it from you. So you have a choice every day to either wake up and attack everything that you do, or you can just, like my dad used to say, dilly-dally through the motions, or like that plastic bag analogy, just float in the wind. but not us, baby. We attack everything that we do here at the No Snooze Podcast.
You know that was in the movie, right? I don't know if that's where you got the reference
Dilly
from.
Dally?
No. The plastic bag is floating through.
It's a movie?
It was in a movie. It was a reference in a movie.
What movie's that? I'm not a movie guy, bro.
That's what I'm saying. I'm wondering if you got it from there.
No, absolutely not. All right, so put me on the spot. One of my goals for 2026 was the Bible verse, right? One Bible verse per week. So this week is from Luke 12:48. From everyone who has been given much, much will be demanded. And from the one who has been entrusted with much, much more will be asked. And that is a powerful statement. For me, that represents right now a season of what I'm going to call graduated responsibility. Because we all have responsibilities in life. But you get to a point that what got you here is not going to get you to that next level. So God is entrusting us with our gifts, with our voice, with all the things that we're putting out into this world. And now we are responsible to take those gifts and to hone them and to help as many people as possible. So with more gifts comes more responsibility. And that's something that is applicable to you as a parent, to you in business, to every single thing that you're doing in your life. So I'm 3 for 3, baby, on memorizing this.
Impressive.
What's your Bible verse of the week? Wah, wah. Did you hear what I said though, or no? I know you were focused on other things.
My brother. Maybe I'll show the audience.
What?
I had headphones on, so even if I chose not to listen to,
you can hear me. Oh, all right.
I can hear everything, even when you snarl when you drink.
I know.
Even when you think I'm not listening, I can still hear it.
What's the other thing? Oh, yeah. I don't know if you guys have heard. There's a big arena in Westchester. It's called the Westchester County Center, and if you look on the county center screens, you're gonna see a big old face that looks just like mine.
Oh, Halloween is back?
And looks just like my brother, Sean Degnan. So shout out to Sean Degnan and Action Cultivates Excellence. We are hosting the Westchester County's first and largest wellness expo. It's called Health is Wealth, April 25th, 2026. It's from 9 to 3. We've got over 40 to 50 vendors that are going to be there, so you can come support small business. You can listen to some expert speakers in the field. We got the guys from Earn Your Leisure coming. We got Gerard Adams coming, Francesca Simpma coming to do hypno breath work with everybody, Michael McDonald, and a whole bunch of others that are going to be joining that list. So we got some big names coming to you. So you're not only going to have access to that, you're going to have access to all of the breakouts. There's going to be fitness activations that are there. Lunch is included in the ticket price. You get a signed copy of the best leadership book out, 30 Lessons to Lead. I know the author, a really good guy. So everything is included in that ticket price. So we'd love to see you guys come out on April 25th, 2026. It's coming soon, baby. Health is wealth.
What is the ticket price, did you say?
So the ticket price is, I believe, $80 with taxes. I think it's a $75 ticket price, and then it's $80 all in. But that includes lunch. That includes a copy of the book. That includes access to the vendor marketplace with 40 businesses, access to every single breakout that you want, and the whole event. So it's pretty, it's a pretty good ticket price.
It's a pretty good deal. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, baby.
You ready?
Oh, I'm just drinking more Celsius. Yeah, let's get into questions, baby.
All right. First question. By the way, I've noticed you must want my reading to get better.
Well,
We've been doing a lot of reading lately.
these are long ones, or no? These are short.
No, there's one long
There's
one.
one long.
There's one long one. But in general, it's a lot of practice reading. My reading's going to get bomb. Okay, first question. I'm struggling with the thought of therapy, but I need it. What made you finally commit, and what kept you going?
Yeah, I don't really wish, I guess, my style on how I got into therapy on anybody. I was making a lot of, well, before I do that, I think this is a phenomenal accountability check for you for leading with humility and coming in and saying, like, the first name was what? I want therapy, or I need therapy. I know I need therapy.
I'm struggling. Yeah, I need it.
Yeah, right. So you need it. So like awareness is always the first thing. So congratulations to you. And I want to just continue to challenge you on that. And if you know that you need something in your life, we have to do what we have to do to make things happen, to progress forward. So awareness is the first thing, but now action is the second. And now when it comes to me, I choose now to be very transparent, very vulnerable. But I also want to be clear that for a long time, I was not like that. And I found myself in therapy because I made a lot of bad decisions in my life. I was binge drinking heavily, utilizing recreational drugs, found myself, doing things when I was in a committed relationship that I should not be doing by any means, seeking attention from places and individuals that I should not be seeking attention, until my life kind of came crumbling down. And that's why I took therapy so serious. And even at that time, I didn't necessarily want to go, but it was something that I was like, look, whatever I'm doing and whatever you're doing in your life, it might not be working. And to me, I remember asking myself the question, what's the worst thing that can happen? And the worst thing that can happen at that time is I would have another experience like I had when I was 15 or 16 years old. I attended therapy for the first time with a family member, and that family member completely fabricated a whole story. The therapist took that individual's side and basically looked me in the face and told me that I was a 15-year-old boy with anger issues that didn't know how to express my emotions. And that to me was the worst, experience that I could have. So I was like, all right, maybe I'll get another experience like that. So I think you want to go into it with no level of expectation, because when you do that, when we have expectations, in my opinion, people and things will never meet our expectations. So you have to go into it with an open ear, an open eye, and also understanding that this is a process, right? You're not going to go to therapy 1, 2, 3 times and be fixed. But what you are going to do is you're going to be able to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times and basically tell your story. And then that therapist, if they're a good therapist, they're going to listen to you and begin to pick apart certain pieces of that story to pull more stories out. And then before you know it, you've been able to really expand, your own level of conversation on things that you have not discussed probably your entire life. So that's the reason why I got into therapy. What kept me there was the growth that I was seeing in my own life, right? I would have what was called like therapy homework. And, I would get a prompt from my therapist and I would go work on that prompt and then come back and report. So I was actually seeing the fruits of my labor. We were having task lists that would help me through things, i.e., if I wanted to practice vulnerability, right? When I am upset, I have to really slow down and force myself to articulate my thought. And if I didn't do that, the next week, I would have to call myself out on it. I'll be very honest, when it comes to individual therapy now, I'm actually not in therapy currently because my therapist retired. But Action Cultivates Excellence has really taken over that because I get to sit in a group of, depending on the groups, anywhere between 8 to 50 guys, have these conversations. And also we have therapists in our group that I get to discuss things one-on-one. I talk to Sean a lot. And talk to the inner circle a ton. So that kind of serves as my therapy now. But I am actually looking to get back on a weekly basis. But my structure was once a week for 7 straight years. And that's a lot of therapy and a lot of work. And at no point should therapy be done. But I got to a point with my personal therapist. He was like, look, man, you don't really need me. And we were doing what was called maintenance therapy for, about 1.5 years before he fully retired. So hopefully that answers the question. Again, huge proponent of mental health in general. I think it's so important that we speak and begin to learn how to articulate our feelings because for so long, men especially, we have been taught to suppress our feelings. And I just want to encourage you and tell you that true strength lies in vulnerability.
Can I give you some sense?
Yeah, bro.
Here? And first, I think I agreed with everything you said. So none of this is, contradictory. But I believe that therapy is I think is good for everyone, no matter what, no matter your situation as well, whether you need it or don't need it. And the reason I'm saying that is because by the time you need it, obviously you have a lot of things that are pulling and making you right. But when you don't need it and you start it, it's a much easier segue to get into that very vulnerable place of having to really open up and tell your therapist a whole bunch of things that you weren't even ready for. So when the time comes that maybe you are getting closer to needing it, but I also think that if you started that work ahead of time, you're much better at mitigating situations that could ultimately get you to that point of needing it, quote unquote.
I love it. Yeah, now I just want to acknowledge you, man, because I remember, you were at a point a couple years ago and you were just intrigued with therapy. And Claudio was very open about like trying a therapist and then being like, that's not the one for me. And that's also a big part of it too, right? Like you can't go into this thinking that you're going to just find one person that's going to be your guy or your girl.
Yeah, that's
right?
tough.
You got to like be able to, it's kind of like speed dating, right? Like you get to have coffee with like all these different people and figure out who works for you. But I remember when you were going through the process, you were very open and you were like, man, this one wasn't really good for me. Oh, I like this one. Okay, I'm going to stick with this one. So I think it's different for everybody.
100%. Yeah.
Cool.
Okay. Next question. Mm-hmm. I've read this 4 times already while you were talking. I'm hoping I'll get this one right on the first shot. Your framework to challenge, learn, and serve is something I constantly tell myself after the leadership in action event. I think that's the part that threw me off. My question is, how do you advise someone to apply this if they are already overwhelmed? I had to ad-lib a little bit there.
That's a really good question. And just to bring context to it. So the framework of challenge, learn, serve is basically what Sean Degnan and I teach as our leadership framework in action cultivates excellence. We believe that if you focus on these 3 things, 1, you challenge yourself every day. 2, you learn something new every day via a podcast or a book, self-help area. And then 3 is serve, right? Be of service to somebody else. If you do those 3 things, we believe that you're on the path to live a fulfilled life. So I just want to bring context to that. Thank you for attending Leadership in Action. As they mentioned, that was a phenomenal event that we did at the Sale House in Tarrytown. So we share that framework now with not only individuals, but we share it with organizations to help them. I really love this question because if you're already overwhelmed, I'm putting myself in your situation. How am I going to add 3 things to my list? Right? Am I on the right path with the question? They're feeling overwhelmed and they're like, how am I going to challenge, learn, and serve if I'm already overwhelmed?
Right. Yes.
Right.
It's like breaking it down, basically.
Correct. Yeah. So I would actually combat your whole thought process and tell you that you would be less overwhelmed if you began to add more things. And that's kind of crazy because you're already overwhelmed. But I do believe that if you get intentional about doing these 3 things, and we'll keep it really simple, you challenge yourself to a workout for 30 minutes to 45 minutes if you're really crunched for time. The workout is not to make you sweat or challenge you in a crazy way. It's to force you to get up and basically get out of that funk, right? Because we believe that movement is medicine. And anything that you're going through, if you begin to move your body, you get a check in that box. So if you do that, if you just put a podcast on while you're doing the workout, this is the best part, right? Because you can do a 2 for 1. You could put the podcast on while you work out, and now you just learn something new. Now be intentional with that podcast. Put on the No Snooze podcast. Put on one of Kai Vision's podcasts that are in the self-help area. Put on an Ed Milet, a Tony Robbins, a Mel Robbins, anything in the space where you can listen to positivity, because when you're moving, you're already doing something in the brain. And now when you're feeding the brain with something physically good and mentally good, it's like a recipe for success. So you could do those 2 things in a matter of 20 to 45 minutes. And then the last one is service. Right? Being of service intentionally, though. If you're a busy parent, which I know that this person is, how can you intentionally be of service to your son or daughter? Is it sitting and drawing a picture with them? Is it making your husband a home-cooked meal? Is it, buying somebody a drink behind you at Starbucks? Is it going up to the person that's the receptionist that you see every day and just saying, hey, you know what? I just want to let you know you've been doing a great job. Little things like that, sending a text message to somebody that you love. What you're doing is you're forcing yourself out of your current routine, and your current routine is actually the thing that's overwhelming you. So I believe by adding these 3 things, you're actually going to subtract some level of stress from you. I don't know if that makes sense. For the past 5 years, I've trusted Kai Vision Studio with my podcast. And every time, Claudio delivers an exceptional experience. The setup here is flawless. Professional lighting, crystal clear audio, and a custom set that makes every episode look elite. As someone who speaks on leadership, I know how important it is to show up with clarity and confidence. This studio allows me to do just that. The quality here isn't just about the equipment, it's about the environment. Claudio has created a space where I can focus on my message, knowing the production will be sharp, engaging, and professional. In a world flooded with content, standing out matters. And having a studio like this gives me the edge to produce videos and podcasts that truly connect with my audience. If you're serious about creating high-quality content, I can't recommend Kai Visions enough. Claudio makes you feel at home, yet delivers at the highest level. 5 years in, I'm not going anywhere else.
Yeah, no, it does. I mean, I was intently listening and trying to like apply it in the thought process just so I could kind of at least be able to speak on it. The acts of service. So here's something that you said today that I think changed a little bit of how I was looking at it, or maybe you just did it for the question. An act of service could be anything, even with your own family.
Yes. The only thing is it has to be intentional. So I'm going to pick up my daughter every day from her aftercare.
Yeah.
Right? But now the intentional act of service will be me sitting down asking her, Callie, go pick out a book that you want to read. What do you want to draw today? I have to cook for her, I have to clean for her anyway.
Yeah.
That's not the type of service that we're talking about. We're talking about intentional
something that's different.
Service.
I don't know.
You picking up the phone. How happy would your mom be if you just picked up the phone randomly and you just called her and you said, Mom, you know what? I'm genuinely just thinking about you. I just want to say thank you for the things that you've done, the sacrifices that you made, and I love you. I'll talk to you later. What would your mom do?
No, I mean, my mother would love it.
But you know what I'm saying? Like, that's the type of intentional service we're talking about. But that type of thought process is very hard when you're overwhelmed, right? Because you're so overwhelmed. You're like, I can't even think that way.
So let me ask you a question, because this, and again, I don't know the person who asked the question. Sounds like you have a better idea. So I'm going to ask you this follow-up that's not directly related to this person. I don't know who that is.
Yep.
What would you tell the person that, after hearing what you said, says, well, throughout my day, I already do bits and pieces of that, just not in like a one specific thing. So, and I'm going to give it to you in the worst way possible so you can really like dissect it, right? On my way to work, I always listen to a podcast. I listen to Mel Robbins because it makes me feel good. My ride to work is like 5-10 minutes, but that's what I listen to. Cool. Throughout work, I always have to like do some picking up of stuff, moving things around, and exerting myself. It's not my job, but most often than not, I find myself doing that. So I just challenged myself. And the third one was an act of service. Well, I call my mom pretty frequently for that same reason, because I thought a long time ago it would be good to make sure I check in and say hello and, hey, Mom, I love you, and just check in and kind of be out. So in that example I just gave you, the 3 things that you mentioned were there. You can check them off. Are they the best way of really changing and realigning the intention? Not really, because it sounds like this person's already somehow put this into their schedule. So it's not very intentional, other than it's reactive to like how their day goes. What would you just say to someone like that will say, well, I already do that in my day?
So I think it's a phenomenal question, because I think a lot of people do 1, 2, maybe even 3 of the things. I think the intention is what's completely different, and I would challenge that individual that you're speaking about to completely get out of your own norm.
So change it. The change.
It doesn't apply to the things you're already doing.
Right, yeah.
You know what I mean? So if you're going to work, that doesn't count as the challenge piece. But you going to work and now you walking for 30 minutes on your lunch break, I could count that one as a challenge. But I can't, because you're a Amazon driver or UPS individual and you're carrying stuff all day, you can't apply that because you're already doing that. In terms of the acts
Oh, wait. Would you give a different challenge to someone that has a job that's already physically challenging?
100%.
What would that look like?
100%. I think, I mean, depend on the physical exertion piece, but like I just said, I think if it's somebody who's like picking stuff up all day, can you get on a lunch break and actually meditate for 20 minutes?
Oh.
Can you go on your lunch break and, go for a walk for 35 minutes?
That's good.
So it's definitely a little bit different. I think in terms of you learning something, you said that you're driving to work and you're listening to something every day. I'll challenge you. Teach somebody what you just learned. Share that thought. Right? Begin to log the list of lessons that you learned in the past 30 days, right? Like at the beginning of the episode, I spoke about graduated responsibility, and that Bible verse is what it means to me, right? So like, can you take that thought and now share it with somebody and say, hey, look, I listened to this podcast. We're talking about graduated responsibility. This is what it looks like for me in my life. What does it look like for you? It's a weird thing to do, but you have to begin to shift this type of mentality. And then calling your parents and stuff, that's awesome, right? But that doesn't count if you're already doing that. So you need to get out of the comfort zone. You go to the deli to buy your lunch. Can you front the bill for the person behind you and just say, hey, look, I took care of your meal. Have a great day, right? Or do something really nice for somebody and don't even tell anybody else about it. But you know that you did it. What did Catherine actually did something so nice, and she felt guilty telling me because she said it was on her heart to do it and not say anything. But I think she was at Chipotle, and two high school girls, that's what it was. Two high school girls were behind her basically talking about how they were going to pool their money together to like buy this meal. And she just turned around and she said to them like, hey girls, I got your meal, like no problem. And then she almost felt guilty telling me about it because she felt like she didn't want to do it because she was telling somebody about it. She did it off of the, like genuineness of her heart. But I was like, girl, you better tell me because I like that stuff, right? And that actually encouraged me the other day. I was walking into the deli and there was a homeless man sitting out there. And instead of asking me for money, he asked me for a Diet Pepsi. And I said, absolutely. And I got the Diet Pepsi and I gave him $5 with it. And again, I'm not doing those things to share it, but those are little acts of service that we can do. And whether you share it or not, that's something. But I can't tell you, one, the judgment that was on me when this man was coming towards me. I'm like, oh God, he just saw me get out of my BMW. He's asking me for money. Mm-hmm. The poor guy asked me for a Diet Pepsi. So right there, I'm like, I need work to do. Because as this man is coming over to me, I'm already judging what he's going to tell me. He asked me for a Diet Pepsi, and then in return, in my heart, I was like, you know what? Here's $5 with the Diet Pepsi. You know what I'm saying? So I think just as people, we're so hardened by life. And, really all this person wanted was a little drink, man. And then I watched him because I'm like, all right, let me see. He put it in his bag, and he walked away. He wasn't putting it in his bag, waiting for somebody else to come and say, hey, can you buy me a Diet Pepsi? Or like trying to rack this up. Like the man genuinely wanted this freaking Diet Pepsi, bro. And I was like, wow, look at me. I'm in this leadership space. I talk all this really good stuff, and I just put this judgment on this poor man.
You probably should have told him to get a better option, get a Celsius.
Right. But it's just so different, man. So hopefully that answers
good.
The question.
No, it does. It does. And I kind of I wanted to throw you off on purpose.
Yeah, of course.
And it was good. Good answers.
Thanks, man.
All right. Question number 3.
Better hurry up. I'm getting fired up now.
Everyone says win the day. What does that look like for you now? And do you win every day?
Ooh. I actually like this question. I really want to ask you to answer it, to be honest.
Me?
Yeah. Okay. And then I'll talk a little bit, I guess, after.
Man, do I win every day? So no, I don't win every day. I actually find myself not winning a lot of days. And I don't know if it's sometimes because I set the bar maybe a little too high for the day or for the week or whatever. Or if I'm not doing a good job of, I guess, being appreciative of what I'm actually maybe accomplishing that could allow me to say, oh, I won today. So it's a little bit of a mixture of both those things. But I think winning and I'm waiting to hear from you, right? I think winning a day is very subjective, and I think everyone has a different interpretation of what winning the day is. Right now, in this stage where I'm at right now, winning a day is moving the needle forward in my business, because that's obviously going to give me some extra growth. Do I necessarily think that when I look at the bigger picture, is that winning the day? No, because I do believe that maybe winning a day would be a day where I'm able to enjoy my day of work, be able to spend some time with my family, be able to see my parents, be able to do some positive things, like really fulfilling type of stuff. To me, that would be winning a day in the bigger picture. But right now, the only thing that's in my mind is making sure that I can move that needle forward so that I can make it, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
That's my answer. What do you think?
I love it. I love it. I was genuinely curious to kind of put you on the spot like that and hear it. For me, when I first think about it, I agree with a lot of what you said, but I think now and unintentionally tying back in some level of a framework is more important than ever with this type of thought process. Because how can you win something if you don't have anything to measure, right? So like those simple things of challenge, learn, serve, for me, if I do those things, I won the day. But I'll be very honest with you, I don't win every day, because every day I don't learn something new, right? I don't intentionally learn something new. But you better believe that every single day I am doing something in my life to move the needle forward in one aspect of my life. But also what I'm really good at is acknowledging, it's funny, I'm going to say something so contradictory to myself. I'm really good at acknowledging the small wins on my day-to-day, right? But I'm also really bad at like celebrating my wins.
Acknowledging them, but not celebrating them.
Right. I'm really good at acknowledging them, because if I am having a bad day, right, I am like, you know what? I worked out today. Shit, I woke up today, because 170,000 people didn't have the opportunity to wake up today. I read my Bible verse today. I read my mission statement today. I got to read Callie, a couple pages. I sat down with Katie and had dinner and asked her a couple questions, right? I got to cuddle her up at the end of the night. But meanwhile, I got 58 no's in business. I emailed 14 Barnes and Nobles, and none of them got back to me, right? Like I have those losses, I think, all the time throughout the day. But I think that framework of challenge, learn, serve is more important than ever, because if you can do those three things and find a way to get two or three of them, one of them done, you did something to not necessarily win the entire day, but you got to win for the day. So I would say this. I would say I don't win every day, but I win in something every day. Every day.
That's good.
Yeah. And even something as little as making the bed, dude. Like I the other day, I felt like crap, and literally I couldn't believe it. I was like, oh my God, this is what people feel. And I was looking at this messy bed, and I was like, I'm not making that bed. Like I just didn't feel like it. And then I was like, no, I need to go make the bed. And like I made the bed like really neat, and I pulled the sheets really tight, and like it just that little thing alone, I was like, nah, I'm in control. So I think for me, winning the day is about like trying to be in control in moments that like you don't want to be in control.
So I have a question.
Yep.
And this one's directly related to me. So I just gave you my answer.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think it is wrong to look at my daily wins or losses solely based on? I see you smiling. I can see what this is coming.
I hated what you said. On business, right?
On the business side, yeah. Because I'll be honest, it's not my favorite. I don't love it. Right now, I'm obsessed with it a little bit because I need it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So here's the thing, right? If you know me, if I get like really, really crazy with you and put a wild scenario to your head, like at the end of the day, bro, if you were on your deathbed, if I'm on my deathbed, the last thing that I'm worried about is my business.
Right, 100%.
Literally. I mean, I don't care what book, what podcast, what studio, like I don't care about, even if I made millions and millions of dollars.
But maybe I can give you another side example to that.
I would challenge you to not measure your success of your day on your business. I think it's a component, and I think I agree with you. Like I have checklists every day. Like right now I need to cold email 5 different organizations every day, right? That could be a university, that could be a bookstore, that could be an individual that I want to connect and collaborate with. I have to do that. A lot of days I get 0 answers, and a lot of weeks I get 0 answers, but I still move the needle forward a little bit in my business. And then it's funny because 3 months later, somebody will reach out, yo man, like you reached out to me, 3 months ago. Like I'd love to, collaborate, and then it becomes this big thing. I wouldn't measure any level of success for your day on a business outcome because of the compound effect that could happen later on.
Yeah, no, I mean, trust me, I don't like it. It's inevitable because right now it is, unfortunately, it is what's on my mind because I like I said, I feel like I need it, right? Because if I don't, this is a bad statement.
You're chasing money right now.
I have to because I need to survive. I need to breathe, and if I don't breathe, then I'm gonna end up dead, like you just said.
See, but
quicker.
I believe
know.
I believe the opposite, bro. I really do. I don't think you should be chasing the money. You should be chasing the fulfillment. And the way that you do that.
So can I pay the electric bill with fulfillment?
Can you pay the electric bill?
Can I pay the gas bill? You get what I'm saying?
Of course. No. So listen.
When you have a steady paycheck, it's, and I'm not. This is not a knock.
Yes.
But this is, and I'll tell you this: for 20 years, I did have that, and it was you take it for granted.
100%.
You know,
we used to talk about that all the time.
But now that isn't the thing, now I feel obligated. I have to. There's no, because if I want to keep my house warm, if I want to keep food on the table, if I want to keep the things that I have to make sure that translates.
Right.
So that's, I think, why I'm so fixated on it, because until I see some stability, and I don't know that in entrepreneurship there is stability. Maybe there is. I don't know. I'm not there yet. But it's that. It's knowing I need to make sure that I can provide.
Shout out to Boundless Nutrition, because if you're serious about your health, your performance, and your lifestyle, this place is a game changer. Boundless Nutrition is a hub for people who refuse to live average. We're talking ready-to-go healthy meals for busy professionals, sports performance supplements, vitamins you can trust, training gear, and the best protein shake bar around. So whether you're chasing strength, fat loss, endurance, or just trying to feel better day to day, they've got you covered. And let me say this, Amanda and the entire Boundless team are incredible, knowledgeable, welcoming, and genuinely invested in helping you win. If you're in Westchester County, New York, stop by 54 Washington Avenue in Pleasantville and experience it for yourself. You can tell them you're a friend of Dave's and find them on Instagram at Boundless Nutrition NY. Because at the end of the day, change your lifestyle, change your life. Now, back to the epic. So, I hear what you're saying. I just think this is where that black and white approach doesn't work, right? So no, technically black and white, you cannot pay your electric bill with fulfillment. But I do believe the more that you're living fulfilled and you're filling your own cup up, you're going to have more of a mental resilience and a mental capacity to serve your business, right? Because when you're feeling good, you're going to be more inclined, instead of just coming to the office kind of miserable, not saying you, but anybody in general. Yeah. If you're just walking into the office after not doing anything for yourself and you're like, oh, you know what, like, hopefully I move the needle forward today, I'm going to email 5 people. That's one approach to this. I believe that if you're doing those 3 things, if you wake up in the morning, you hydrate yourself, you make your bed, you go for that walk, in your brain, you're going to begin to get this like creative approach that's going to happen. And now you're going to come into your office. You're not only going to send 5 emails, you might send 2 more. And now doing that on a consistent basis, I believe, is going to hockey stick your business.
Hockey stick?
Hockey stick.
Oh, like the check thing, the way it looks?
Right, because we want our growth to be a hockey stick. Unfortunately, it goes like this a lot.
Yeah.
But I believe when you're doing those things, that's where the hockey stick approach does come in. And a lot of things begin to change in your life when you begin to live more fulfilled, because you're appreciating little things. You've already done certain things to move the needle forward in other aspects of your life. So the stress is much less. So you not getting an answer, me not getting an answer from Barnes & Noble for 3 months didn't bother me as much because of all the other things that I was doing.
I mean, I agree. I mean, there is something to be said about coming in with a positive disposition, fulfilled, feeling good. Things naturally tend to work out better.
Why is that?
Oh, probably because you're putting the good energy into the universe and the good things are happening. I get it. I'm not knocking that, because I've experienced that too, in the business, and it's great. It's easier. It's way easier, but it is difficult. It's difficult every single day to not be reminded of something that needs to be a little bit better, and then that throws you off a little bit, and then you have to battle that inner thinking that you have to be positive, you have to not get overwhelmed by the fact that X, Y, or Z is putting pressure on you. You get what I'm saying?
Yes, absolutely.
So that's the tough part, because I agree with you 100%. There's days that I come in here and I am like a rainbow, happy, and things work out and everything feels easier and it's great. And then there's other days that you get reminded that that society asks for bills, and you got to make sure that you take care of your responsibilities, and then that puts a little bit of a weight on you, and you come in a little bit different, and not necessarily in a bad mood, just with a different weight on you,
Right.
So that's the hard part, being able to consistently be in that positive space so that doesn't.
My only thing back to that would be, and I don't want to get into it with you because we can go there all day. In your life, the habits that worked for you in the past, you tend to stop them at times. And that's where I think you can have that breakthrough of whatever you're looking for in business, and not just you, but now anybody that's looking for that, if you can stick to this framework for a significant period of time, right? Can we have this conversation in 60 days? And I guarantee you that anybody that's listening to this podcast, if you apply this framework of challenge, learn, and serve for the next 60 days, and you measure exactly where you're at right now in business, health-wise, in your relationships, anything that you want to apply, I guarantee you that the needle will be moved in a positive direction after 60 days. Guaranteed. But 90% of people won't do it because you're going to wake up. I'm not saying that you're going to wake up on fire every day. That's the key. You're going to wake up depressed. You're going to wake up anxious. You're going to wake up with a million things to do. But throughout your day, if you can challenge, learn, serve, 60 days, come back to me and tell me your life is worth. It won't happen.
I happily want to report that I wake up happy every day. And then we see where the day goes.
As long as there's coffee, I'm happy, baby. Coffee or Celsius?
Yeah. I mean, when I open my eyes, I'm happy. Especially, you know what makes me really, really happy when I wake up?
Your dog?
Like a day like today. No, It's crazy. The sun. So I have, and I battle with my wife all the time about this, but she loves like the blackout
me too.
shades.
Oh, black me out all day.
No, not me.
Really?
I need like sunlight to wake me up in the morning. I don't know what it is. It's invigorating. It makes me feel good. So when I'm in the way my house is set up, the sun passes right in front of our room. So in the mornings when it's a sunny day, a lot of times I'm being woken up by pretty like strong sunlight like hitting me in the face, which is amazing. I love that. I love that feeling. I love that little warmth that the sun gives you. It's almost like it's almost like a fairy tale. I notice that when it rains or when it's ugly and you wake up and there is no sun because it's just gray outside, you're like, oh, like I need that.
Have you looked into, so one, I wouldn't be able to sleep with you. One, because you snore too loud. So shout out to Catherine for putting up with that nonsense. My guy is a bear. But
This guy.
the red light therapy, have you looked at those masks?
I've seen them.
Dude. So
I've never.
apparently it does the same thing, and a lot of people are really, really, really loving it. So that could be like something that you incorporate into this.
Wait. Hold on. What do you mean the same thing? What does it do when you put a red mask or a red light therapy mask?
So I specifically don't know the benefits of that infrared sauna.
But it's like the sun hitting you?
Yeah, bro.
Really?
Yeah, that's what it's all about. It's light.
So
And
like if I
great
go
for your
and I
skin,
get one
it's-
of those masks, the thing is, I'm sure there's a difference between like the $50 Amazon one that you buy, maybe going to like a salon.
I don't think so. I think they have really good ones now that mimic, the expensive stuff. But maybe you can come up with like some level of routine as you wake up. Like if you're somebody that's like slow to wake up, right? Maybe you put that mask on and you put on like a positive podcast while you're doing that. And for just 10 minutes to wake up. That way, if it's raining, it's still giving you the same benefit. I don't know, something to look into.
Yeah, no, I didn't. Like I've heard of it.
Yeah.
I didn't really know.
I mean, dude, it's all over the place. Like it's crazy.
I didn't know. Good.
Yeah, baby. But we got one more?
One more.
Time for one more.
Yes. Can you share what entrepreneurship has exposed about you personally?
Entrepreneurship has exposed that I am a dog. I am a beast. No. So I think entrepreneurship is a lot of wins and losses. And I also want to be very transparent, right? Like I don't necessarily need to pay my bills through entrepreneurship. So that's a significant thing that we, kind of discussing before. Like I do have the level of flexibility and a blessing to have a full-time job that takes care of my standard needs and way of living. But now So on the financial end, it's easier. But from a timing perspective, I feel like it is so difficult. And I struggle with a lot of things, man. Like entrepreneurship, I would say tested and tests my patience, my level of pressure, my level of responsibility, my level of resilience. I mean, there's a million things that I think tests me all the time. So much to the point that there has been plenty of times that I've thought, why do I do this to myself? Why do I take on all these new endeavors, these businesses, these projects? Because it's almost easier. And I think we've spoken about this before too. I envy the person who can make $75,000 a year and be really happy. Like if you can just work, imagine that. If you could just work one job and be really happy with your life, like that's amazing. For me, I have this problem with like impact now. And even though I'm doing really good in one area of life, it's like, I think I can help more, or I think I can do more, or I could push my own needle forward. And I have this level of addiction that I used to apply to the clubs, the drinking scene, all that stuff. And now I apply it to, personal and professional development. I've been very clear about this too. I don't think any addiction is a good addiction. I don't think a gym addiction is a good one. I don't think, me being obsessed with things is a great personality trait, but I have it anyway. So entrepreneurship is hard, man. But I would say the toughest thing still for me is patience. And the unfortunate thing is sometimes my daughter does not reap the benefits of me being impatient, because it'll be at the end of the night and she'll be like, Daddy, can you read a couple more pages? And I'm like, no, we got to go to sleep because I'm tired. And I am tired. But also I'm never going to be on my deathbed being like, wow, I wish I sent more emails in business. But I will be on my deathbed being like, damn, I remember that time that I was sitting next to Callie just a couple of weeks ago, and I was having dinner and I was on my phone and she said, can I get off my phone? So I think for me, entrepreneurship is definitely exposing what's really important and also teaching me the boundaries. Like I need to be able to shut it off. And that's the piece that I'm not very good at.
That's tough.
I'm not good at it because I literally just got it. I don't know if I shared it on the podcast, but got a really good text from somebody who's going to be speaking at the event. So I was involved in that. I'm over here so excited. And I look over and Katie's on her phone. And I look at Callie and Callie's just like eating really slowly. And I said, what's wrong, baby? And she said, you guys are on your phone. No one's paying attention to me. That
took a dagger,
bro,
in the heart.
I mean, kill me now. You know what I mean? Like that was a horrible, horrible feeling. So that's certainly, I think, where I need to improve. But also, man, again, this is a blessing. Everything that we're doing is a blessing, but it's also a choice, right? And you have the choice every day to do the things that you're doing. So you don't necessarily get to complain about it. You can, but you're still choosing everything that you're doing. Every journey that you're on right now is a choice. So choose your hard, right? They say like working out is hard, but getting disease is even harder. So I think we all have to, begin to choose. But entrepreneurship is no joke, man. Yeah, absolutely not.
It's definitely different. It's, I remember while working with, the youth that I worked with, and when you would have a lot of conversations about careers and things and that, and, entrepreneurship is something that I always spoke about. And you speak on it with surface level knowledge because because you've heard, because you understand. But then living it, it's a very different. And the crazy thing is, as hard as it is, I think every person should probably, especially every young person, should experience it a little bit so you get a feel for. I mean, it's different once you start getting older and you have a life and responsibilities and diving into something without a parachute. I understand that. But as a kid, as a young person learning the workforce, I now believe that this should almost be like the mandate, because you're going to learn a lot about yourself. You're going to learn how many the holes that you have, but you're also going to learn all the beautiful things and qualities that you are able to bring to any table, let alone yourself. But it is extremely tough. It's a very tough world. It's a very tough state of being in entrepreneurship, because those peaks and valleys, that graph that goes like crazy, it is not consistent, and it's every day is different. Everything is gonna not look the same. There's no consistency to like I said, to that steady paycheck. Where at that point, if you're having a steady paycheck and you're content with your steady paycheck and with what you're making, the rest of the time, the rest of what you do is really for you and for you to grow, for you to use that time however best it's going to suit your personal needs. When you're in entrepreneurship, it's every day you have to figure out how you're going to get that base. And then once you've gotten to that base, how can I maybe improve? How can I grow? How can I, fulfill, etc. I don't know. It's a really tough, it's a tough place to be at.
Yeah, absolutely. No, well said, man. All right, listen, I think look, one more.
Celsius ran out.
You hear this?
I do.
One more sip, and then
everybody heard it.
There we go, baby. Oh my God, I can't stand. Oh, finally, I don't know if anyone can relate to this. You know how I've been vocal about like I cannot stand chewing noises and mouth sounds and all the thing.
I'm aware.
It's actually a condition.
Yeah, I've heard it.
You saw? Yeah, so it popped up on my Instagram.
Really?
Yeah.
What's it called?
I don't know, but I sent it right to Katie. I'm like, all right, I'm not crazy. Because it's a real thing. My own sounds don't bother me. I could be chewing gum, but like if I hear that, it like does something crazy to my brain.
I also think there's levels, because I think your level is you're very acute to it.
Yes,
where
it's magnified.
Yes, because I didn't realize this, but I don't know if I've developed some of this, or I have some of this too with chewing of food.
Oof.
But I usually don't hear it as much. But every now and then, it's like it pierces through any other sound and it goes right into my ear.
And that's it.
Yeah.
That's the only thing you
So
hear.
I'm assuming like when you told me about
bro, you got the condition. Now you got it. I passed it
you
on.
gave it to me.
It's contagious. It's contagious. Guys, keep these questions coming, man. These are really fun. CV, I love engaging with you, man. I love having you on the other side. For anybody that is in the New York, Connecticut, New Jersey area, if you're within 2-3 hours, come check out Kai Visions here in Stamford, Connecticut. It's an incredible opportunity to really get to tell your story. I believe in podcasting now more than ever. I think this content is what we call evergreen content, right? This is content that can last forever. So you coming and, taking that plunge, we'll call it, of putting yourself out there and getting into this booth, you can record content that you can utilize for years and years to come. So I just want to encourage anybody on their own journey that CV is the best in the game. So I appreciate you, my brother.
Thank you.
And some exciting news to close out. Your boy is officially in Barnes & Noble. And I will
Let's go.
Yeah, baby. I will be in Barnes & Noble, the Hartsdale location on Central Avenue, February 7th, signing books, engaging with the community. So any of the listeners that are in that area, I truly appreciate it if you guys can come out. And one other thing that we're pushing with the book is to leave me a review on Amazon if the book has impacted you in a positive way. And honestly, I see everyone that is, tagging and all that stuff, and I'm so grateful and appreciative of it. But I do want to encourage you to take that and translate it over into Amazon so we can continue to push the message of leadership forward. I'm grateful for every single one of you guys, whether you listen to one episode or 256. We just want to say thank you. Continue to move the needle forward in your life. I'm about to choke over here. And until next time, stop snoozing.
Get up and get after it.
Let's go, baby. Celsius is fire. This tropical vibe flavor. Thank you guys for tuning in. That's another epi in the books. You can follow us on Instagram at No Snooze Podcast and leave us a 5-star review wherever you listen to us. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, No Snooze. Shop the latest merch at nosnoozeshop.com. Come on.